Here are the 3 things that no one else is gonna tell you when it comes to true self-love and true embodiment of this self-love. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Rebecca. I am a holistic nutritionist, your wellness and self-development big sis. I've been on my own personal self-love journey for so long now, so I'm here to share all my tips and tricks with you. Number 1, true self-love comes from you actually being yourself. And let me explain. I don't like all this like fluff BS talk of like, you know, just be yourself and everything else falls into place. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you are not tapping into your authentic self, your soul, your internal being, who you are truly meant to be in this earth, then your chances of fully loving yourself are just going to continue being slimmer and slimmer. Because here's the problem. When you are not being a full authentic expression of you, and when I mean you, I mean this internal being, your soul, the actual you that came to this earth, not what you look like, not your thoughts, not your profession, not any of this stuff, the real you. When you are not showing up as the real you in this authentic expression, you are going to have this disconnect, this misalignment that creates friction within the self. And whether you realize it consciously or not, if you are not showing up in that way, you are going to feel that friction and that resistance, and that is going to manifest and show up in your life in a myriad of different ways. So for example, you could be trying to please your parents by doing the things that they told you that they want to see from you, or you could be trying to please society standards by fitting into a certain way or looking a certain way just to be, you know, fitting in, or quote unquote, you know, doing the things that society has taught us are the right things to do. Or even as a woman, trying to not be too much, too loud, too yourself, too of anything. You know, as women, we are taught to kind of be tamed down or reel it back in, or actually not love ourselves, disconnect from ourselves. So we are forced, or not forced, we're persuaded into buying things. So the real self-love ultimately comes when you realize that self-love comes as a result of you being your authentic expression of your internal being, and not this facade, not this mask of like, oh, I'll love myself when I look this certain way, or when I get into this relationship, or when these certain things happen. Your self-love will come as a result of your authentic expression of your inner being shown and shined out into the world, because we need you being more of you, baby girl. Quick intermission for a throat spray by my favorites, Beekeepers Naturals. If you haven't heard of them, I love all their products, especially this throat spray, because it has bee propolis in it and a ton of other immune supporting ingredients, such as vitamin C, zinc, B vitamins, but I really love the propolis in this because it is so good for your immune system, and it actually soothes my throat, especially since I'm talking a lot in this video, so I need to, like, you know, break it up and have some support for my body as I'm speaking a lot, as I do on YouTube and my podcast. Thank you to Beekeepers Naturals for partnering with me on this video, because I truly want to support you guys by supporting brands that I genuinely love. And Beekeepers Naturals is one of them, because they have a ton of like immune supporting ingredients and products, especially as it's getting colder outside. So if you want a daily throat spray that has great ingredients, it soothes the scratchy throat, it just makes me feel overall great, highly recommend this throat spray with tons of immune support. Number 2, what people are not going to tell you about self-love. Kind of goes back into what I was just talking about. But true self-love is not gonna come as a result of you getting the things that you think will bring the self-love. Let me explain. You are not going to feel more loved by getting into a relationship if you don't already have that love within yourself. Okay, let's go down this rabbit hole for a sec. Because if you are lacking in self-love currently, if you are lacking within yourself and you get into a relationship, that lack within will get expressed onto the relationship. Your insecurities are going to be shined onto that relationship. You're going to project those insecurities and those things onto the relationship. You're going to question things, you're going to question him, you are going to constantly be seeking validation, you're going to come off as needy, you're going to maybe have a hard time being more independent in a relationship because you're going to constantly be craving this need for love and validation because you haven't been giving it to yourself. And now you're relying on an external person to do that for you, which therefore can create a lot of different problems down the road, mind you. And this really goes for anything in your life, whether it's a relationship or not. If you continue to place your self-love on an external thing, such as once I look a certain way, once I lose the weight, once this happens, once I get the job, once I get the relationship, you're gonna continue to feel lack. You're gonna continue to feel that lack of self-love no matter what happens externally of you, because trust me, I get it, I've been there. I thought once I lost those 5 pounds, I'd be happy and could love myself. But then guess what? It turned into another 5 pounds, which turned into another 5 pounds, which then turned into something else I wanted to change on my body, which then made me feel like I wasn't enough in other areas of my life. Like, it is just a constant spiral that's gonna happen if you keep waiting for something external of you to fill a void that is really an internal problem. So with all of this to say, get it together, sis. Realize that you need to nourish your own self-love, your internal self-love, without relying on somebody else, something else external of you to fill that void. Because if you do, there will be consequences, and you're going to continue to project that lack and insecurity onto whatever it is external of you, and you're gonna constantly be seeking that lack in different areas of life until you really nourish that internal being first. Number 3, last thing that most people are not gonna tell you about self-love, but here it is, okay? This one sounds really simple, but it's true. You can be 100% happy with yourself today and still wanna make changes to better yourself in the future. There is absolutely nothing stopping you from being 100 millionth percent happy and full and fully loved about yourself today. I'm serious. You might think this might be too good to be true, but it's not. Because once you reveal, you take down the mask, you let yourself be you, you start nourishing your internal being, and you start realizing that everything outside of you, all of society's things have been put in place to make you feel like you can't do it. Oh, I can't do that because of this. I can't be happy with myself because of this. I can't love myself because of this. You're gonna come up, your mind, your subconscious, it's gonna try to come up with a million different reasons why you can't. But I promise you, I'm telling you today, that you can be 100% happy with yourself. Even if you're not where you wanna be in life, that's fine. Because guess what? You're always gonna wanna be striving for more and better in life, always. If you didn't, it'd be boring, right? But you can decide, it's a choice, it's a choice. You can decide today that today's the day that I say, F it. I love myself 100%. I am whole, worthy, and complete as I am right now. I can still want to make better changes in the future, and I can still want to better myself in the future, but I can also choose that today is the day that I stop putting myself down. Today is the day that I stop doing these things, or at least I start working at it. And I start telling myself from the inside out that I am worthy and I am able to love myself 100% as I am today. No excuses, no periods, ands, or buts. Because once you realize this, you realize that there really is nothing stopping you from doing it. All the excuses that are gonna come out, you can journal them down, you can write them down, you can laugh at them, you can choose to let them go, but you will realize that there is actually nothing physically stopping you from loving yourself 100% today. And that is my challenge for you. I hope you enjoyed today's YouTube video. Stay tuned for more informational, talking, motivational videos like these because I love making them. And if you want even more like this, check out my podcast, The Within You Podcast, for more. Sending love.